I also want to bring in now to the conversation Texas congressional candidate Carmen Maria Montiel, who joins us now here in studio. And Carmen, I'm so glad to have you here too. You have such a great background, such a powerful story of your family leaving Venezuela, being here, a mom of three, a great story. I want to show a Quinnipiac poll because these numbers are stunning. I mean, this is amazing. Only 18% of Hispanic voters approve of Joe Biden. Isn't this proof that Latinos are shifting the other way? And you know the story all too well. Congressman Collins was just talking about faith. There's a lot of things that come into play here.
Well, that's the most important thing. You know, Latinos' core values are faith, family, and work ethics. We're hardworking people, and our families are untouchable, and our faith is what have gotten us through everything we have going in life. And like Doc said, you know, we came here legally, which is my case. I am a legal immigrant. There is no way I can be in favor of illegal immigration, especially when I am in a state that is a border state, right, and we're directly affected what's happening at the border.
How much are you hearing also, Carmen, because your district, very heavily minority district to their Congressional District 18
yes,
that you're running for, are you hearing that there's a sense of a trend? And obviously I think of Mayra Flores, who won in that special election. Her husband's a border agent.
Well, you know, the district changed now with redistricting. So the district is now 44% Latino, 35% Black, 17% white, and 4% Asian. And even the Black community is abandoning the Democrats. They're tired of being used and abused by the Democrats. And Latinos, you know, the most important thing also, besides faith, family, hard work, are children. Parental rights. When the Democrats started to mess up with our children, that I think that's when finally all Latinos say, this is it.
You know what I like on your website, you call it a real Republican for the United States too, as opposed to what, a non-Republican.
Well, we need to love this country. Love this country with our hearts. I always tell people, I lost a country. I refuse to lose another one. As you know, I came from Venezuela, which just went down under communism, and I see the same signs in the district. I always said that my district, District 18, is being an experiment of this communist agenda. For 28 years, nothing has been done for our constituents. Their education is not improved. You know, our media salary is $46,000 a year. How can people survive, especially right now with inflation, with the price of gas as it is? People are having a hard time making ends meet, especially in my district. And we need to do something and stop the empty promises.
Yeah, people want to see real results at this time. I want to bring in Congressman Collins, because what does all this mean for November now? Because clearly the Democrats, they have relied so heavily on the Hispanic vote. If they don't have it, and we saw obviously, as you know all too well, working with President Trump, he cut into that. He was able to bring a number of Hispanics over. But what does it mean come the midterms?
Well, I think it means that the Democrats are terrified of great candidates like Carmen, and great candidates who are articulating a message of faith and family and just getting stuff done. Rita, how many times have you and I talked about the fact that Democrats simply are patronizing to their own, quote, base voters by telling them, oh, we're going to do this or we're going to do that, but never getting to it or never getting around to it, or actually putting in policies that actually hurt working families. That's been the most interesting thing. So I think when you come into November, it's almost every poll talks about inflation, the economy. They talk about their families. They talk about the students. I love that Carmen mentioned they're talking about what's going on in our educational system. These are the things that are the sitting around the dinner table issues, if you would, that people are concerned about. While the Democrats are off chasing things, that, frankly, are disconnected from reality. November is going to be, especially in the House, is going to be very difficult for Democrats. I think the Senate is going to be as well, and mainly because you have a president that cannot campaign for any of their candidates, because just as we've seen in Georgia and Ohio, whenever he comes to town, somebody else has a different appointment schedule that they need to meet. So it's going to be tough on Democrats, which is, for Republicans, is a good thing, but we can't take it lightly. I'm hearing too many Republicans getting too gleeful about November. They got to get out and actually work and share messages like Carmen and others are sharing, so that we can make sure that we get those voters to the polls.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. And Carmen, to that point, what do you think is going to happen in November now? Because it is right around the corner, and in some cases, you don't want to take it for granted. You want to make sure that the work is done there. You have an amazing story, too. You became Miss Venezuela, by the way. You're runner-up Miss Universe.
Yes.
TV journalist, too, as well. How do you relate all these different layers of your life and the fact that the Hispanics are not just one big, voting bloc? They're different. They have different personalities, different interests.
Well, what people need to understand that Latinos were another culture, not another race. We're another culture made out of different races, and that's why they cannot put us in one box. And that's where Democrats are failing, because we come from different backgrounds. And what we see is, yes, we need to reach out to our voters. We need to tell our voters, go get registered, be proactive, go to vote, have your voices heard. How do you have your voices heard? Go out and vote. Many people don't even register, and that's our big message. Go get registered. You want to make a change. You want to have your life value and what you want to accomplish for yourself and your family to have a value. Go to vote. That's the most important message. We cannot just say, oh, there's going to be a red wave. No, we need to get in contact with our voters, and we need to tell them what we're going to do. And like I say, we need to target inflation right away. We need to target the price of gas. We need to close the border, and we need to take back our parental rights and educate our children how we are meant to educate our children. Our children belong to us, not to the government.
Spoken as a mom of three. Well, I wish you so much luck. So many issues to talk about. My goodness, great to have you here in studio,
too. Thank you very much, Rita.
Thank you very much, Carmen. And also, Doug, thank you very much for being with us. Great to have both of you here this morning. Wonderful.